Well, hello my fellow car milers. How you doing today? It is a nice Sunday by the time you're watching this, but for me, I guess it's really early Sunday morning. Yep, I'm up real late. It's past midnight at this point in time. And I finally got to doing some tinkering, and I just want to show you, I got this whole car in focus. I know exactly what I'm going to do, and I've got a plan, and I'm aiming for that goal. I got that goal post in sight. And we see that thing over in January 15th, and I got something for the boys. Yeah, I do. I want to show you what I got going. All right, so we already have established I am making a drag car. I am making a green drag car. Not changing my mind in that. But I did start this whole thing by going through the internets, hunting down, cars that would inspire me, and I found the car. And this is exactly, as far as paint's concerned, I'm gonna go for this look right here. And I want to put a vinyl top on it. I have been talking about doing a vinyl top for all of you to see how I do vinyl tops, so that'll give me that opportunity. Plus, it's less paint. But I tell you, man, it is a cool looking car. It's squatted down a little more. I'm not sure what class this car runs in, or it probably actually is a pro street. I am going for a little bit more of a, I guess, a cheaper build, not a tube chassis car. This thing looks a little more fabricated and stuff, but I just love the looks of it. I don't want to be down that low, but I'm going to go low, but we're going to get into that in a minute. This is definitely a cool look. I don't know if this is going to be a super stock race car or whatever, but we know that it's going to be Hemi. But if I have to, I don't know my Mopars that well. Did 70 GTXs have Hemis? You can tell me down below. That could help me out, because if they did, then I can run the Hemi. Now, we've got that established. We got the look, and let's flip this around, because I'm going to show you something. I talked about tires. I was going to go with this tire from the Diecast Pro Stocks, but it actually is a little bit too fat for what I want to do. And for the time period I think I'm going to aim this car at. I really love super stocker type race cars from the late 70s, early 80s, and I think that's the direction I'm going to go with the X here. So I'm going to go, which is some of my favorite drag tires. Not necessarily this wheel, I just put it in there for looks. But I love these old MPC Pro Stock slicks. Round 2's still popping these things out. Like in the latest Sega kits they did, it has these slicks in them, but without the lettering. Lots of times I sand that lettering off. But I love these slicks. They're very versatile, and you can even take a little grind into the edges there and get rid of that real bias ply, make it look a little more modern. But it's just a perfect size slick. And I'm gonna have this thing. So we could go real 70s, right? We're there. But I think, yeah, we got the 70s look, and we've got the more like a real down-to-earth race car. It's just, I think it'll have a good look to it. It's got a nice fatness to it. I think let's get a look at all, whoops, get all angles. You kind of see the look we'd be going for. That's a good angle right there. That's totally how it fits in that wheel well. Perfect, huh? Without tubs. Kind of. So I'm going to show you. I did a little trick here. I am keeping this thing as stock as possible. I know I'm letting some of you down. But I've already been reworking this, because obviously you would not be able to fit the slick in there. I'm going old school, and I know a lot of you there said just the way to go is back half it. I'm not such a cut this all off and back half. I really like the styling, especially how tubbed cars were built back in the late 70s and 80s. It was guys in their garages, and they just, narrowed rear ends. They brought in, the frame rails. They did all the cutting and stuff, and didn't have these aftermarket companies making fabricated subframes and stuff for them. That's kind of what I'm doing with this. The look I want to go, because I want to keep as much of the stock floor. This tank will be gone. I got a cool thing what I'm going to do here, but I want to continue. That is per NHRA rules, and I'm not, you know, it's something that I like to go with. NHRA rules states that if I do make this into a super stocker, you have to keep all the factory floor in between the frame rails. You can cut as much as you want out, and this can all be gone even, but you have to keep it factory in here between the frame rails, no matter how close you bring those frame rails in. And back in the day, they used to, even on cars like this, they would use these stock frame rails. They would either get new ones from you know, the dealership. You could get them replacement ones for ones, you know, that rotted out or whatever, and they would just take them and weld them in place right there, and then they would cut this all out, and then, you know, that's how it was done. And that's kind of the look I'm going for with this car. I love mini tubbing. It's kind of mini tubbing. And another thing is my back half, although I would love to use my back half, you know, to show it off and all that stuff. And I'm telling you, it's kind of funny. I'm kind of like going against me, the business guy, going, no, man, just back half it, because, you know, you buy a back half off me. I'm kind of like, you know, shooting my business in the foot, showing you guys this. But, you know, this is about, you know, how I build model cars. I'm wanting to show you things. I did a video, this one right here, on doing this kind of work with, and I do it a lot. Most of my drag cars, I really do that instead of back halving. These are such huge cars, you can really get away with it, because this big slick just fits right in there. I did a little bit of sanding. Well, heck, let's just show you. So you can see, I want to keep the stock inner fender well, because it fits nice against the body, and then all I got to do is just fill this all in. I've sanded down the subframe. I'm probably going to sand a little bit more, just making it a little narrower, just so the slick fits in there. And my plan for a rear end setup, this is what's cool. I don't know if I'm going to inboard leaf springs. That was a thing done in the 70s, and you saw in the early 80s. You still see that in some super stock cars. With my rear end too, my back half, you know, you saw in the last video how I was about going with a 24 scale Hemi engine. I'm trying to keep everything 24 scale. I know, okay, you can say this tire is not 24 scale. No, it's not. It's not. And if I do find a 24 scale tire that can fit this, it will. This is a 25th scale slick, but it fits right. But I want to go with a rear end setup that is from 24 scale. And the thing that I love, especially being a Mopar, I love narrowed rear ends with a good, big, beefy Dana 60, which is what my back half kit has. But it's small looking, just like the way the 25th scale Hemis look small. I feel the same way about back half. So we're getting from one of my favorite kits that we've talked about a lot on this channel. It's almost like the channel mascot. And one day, yes, I'll finish it. The Monogram 66 Malibu SS flip nose. Whew, that Dana 60 rear end out of that puppy. That is my favoritist rear end in model kit form. I bought these kids up for the parts, and I got a ton of these. And then I have showed you, and I made a mold of a cover that fits this rear end. That is like a race cover that I might put on here. And I might even use the ladder bars from the Malibu if I don't go with leaf springs. But I'm going to use this rear end, and it just works. I don't even think I'm going to have to really narrow it much, just a little. I'll probably need a little bit of narrowing, but that's just going to work for me. That's going to work out really nice for me. Nice big beefy Dana 60 rear end. Love it, love it, love it. Yeah, that's just appropriate going with the Hemi. We're gonna be going with stick. So this is gonna be a gear slamming, jamming race car, man. You're watching the Lucas C channel on YouTube. I just wanted to bring you guys up to speed of what I'm doing with my unified scale automotive content creators group build. And that's pretty much where we're at with it. Just getting started, getting the first cuttings going. that's gonna look cool. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with a bigger, more like a 24 scale wheel. I got one sitting here, fits in there. And we need a big 24 scale wheel. That'll definitely have to be a 24 scale wheel. I got a whole bunch of slicks here I can play with, and one never knows. I might find something else, but right now this is the leader of the bunch. Hey, let's show you one more thing before we sign off. I had an idea, because yeah, we can go with that grabber air intake on this that this comes with, which is so cool, and this whole thing fits on in there. But going for that kind of late 70s look, I've got the coolest hood scoop. I got pieces and parts here, but this is one of my favorite. I love this style hood scoop. I don't have the bottom part right here, but it gives you an idea. This is one of my favorite hood scoops. It came out of the Monogram 69 Camaro, the white one. Those horrible Camaros. That was another kit I'd buy up because they had great parts. And just that cool look, man, that mailbox. This is going to be kind of hard to put up here for you guys, but that might be a look we go for. I don't know. We got a couple of them laying around. We are going to have, probably, if there's any hood scoop, it'll probably be some sort of big old square hood scoop. We don't want to go. I never like those arrow hood scoops on these cars, even in the modern days. It just doesn't look right. You got to have that square look, but I don't know yet. But if it's a super stock car, if I can do that, we might go with that route with just using that air grabber hood. All right, we are done. Green and black it is. Black vinyl top. Cut out back fenders, wheel wells I should say, narrowed Dana 60 rear end, Hemi, gotta have a Hemi, B-body drag car. Alrighty guys, thanks for watching. Okay, that's it. I'll let you go, but you got to remember one thing. What do we do here, and why do we do it? We build model cars 'cause they're fun. Here's the producers.